Hello, my name is Naisha, and today I am going to do something totally different and talk about a book that got turned into a movie, which I despise. And that book that got turned into a movie name is Blood and Chocolate. Now, Blood and Chocolate is by Annette Curtis Klaus. Klaus. I'm gonna say Klaus. I hope I'm saying it right, but yeah. Annette Curtis Klaus is who basically wrote Blood and Chocolate. And the description of it goes like this: Vivian relished the change, the sweet, fierce ache that carries her from girl to wolf. At 16, she is beautiful and strong, and all the young wolves are on her tail. But Vivian still grieves for her dead father. Her pack remains leaderless and in disarray, and she feels lost in the suburbs of Maryland. She longs for a normal life, but what is normal for a werewolf? Then Vivian falls in love with a human, a meat boy. Aiden is kind and gentle, a welcome relief from the squabbling pack. He's fascinated by magic, and Vivian longs to reveal herself to him. Surely he will understand her and delight in the wonder of her dual nature, not fear her as an ordinary human would. Vivian's divided loyalties are strained further when a brutal murder threatens to expose the pack. Moving between two worlds, she does not seem to belong in either. What is she really, human or beast? Which tastes sweeter, blood or chocolate? Now, the book I would definitely recommend for you to read it, but I will say this though. Um, it I feel like most people um didn't really care the um for the story like that. Because if I'm not mistaken, um, there was like controversy about the story. Um, and I know I looked it up, but it says, according to the American Library Association, Blood and Chocolate was the 57th most banned and challenged book in the United States between 2000 and 2009. It was also the 10th most banned and challenged book in 2001 due to being sexually explicit and unsuited to the age group. And also, mainly because I know people have problem with, because I just not realized this, but when I was reading this book as a teen, I didn't realize that Vivian was 16. I thought she was I thought she was I thought she was like 18 and stuff. That's how old I thought she was. But now I realize she was 16. And the only reason why I said that is because, like, you know, um she catches with this guy Gabriel. Um he basically he basically wants Vivian. He finds her attractive. He's 24. And so, yeah, that's what I said. That was another controversy. Um, I know I'm looking on the Wikipedia page, and I noticed that like um they didn't go into further, like why people had some concerns about the book. But like I didn't mind the book because like I guess I looked at it as like they were werewolves and not actually human and stuff like that and stuff. But then again, I was a teenager when I was reading this, so I like I was like, oh, okay. Now I'm like, ew. I'm like, ew now. Because it's like, dang, I didn't realize that she was 16. I thought she was 18. I didn't know. Because it's like, at least it's a little bit better, even though it's still cringy. But now it's like, oh wow. Okay. But the whole point is that the book was still a interesting read because Vivian, she falls in love with this um teenage human boy named Aiden, and I think the first thing they bonded on, because she, if I'm not mistaken, she draws. Yeah, she draws, and she did a she drew a picture of a werewolf, not a werewolf, but of a wolf. I forgot what it was, but she drew a picture, and Aiden, he basically, because I think yeah, I think she submitted. I don't know why I can't talk right now, but I'm sorry, guys, I just can't. But she submitted. I can't. I'm sorry, but she submitted. Finally, she submitted a drawing to, I think, her to a school, her new school paper, and Aiden was the one who did a poem to like go with her her picture, and she wanted to meet him, and so they end up meeting, that end up being chemistry. But while this is going on, she'd have some pack trouble because um basically her father was pack leader, and he died, and several other members the of her pack dies because um one of the one of the one of the werewolves, basically he killed, yeah, he killed a human girl, and people got suspicious and stuff. So yeah, like because of one mistake of a one horrible mistake of a werewolf, her pack paid the price. And so basically she ends up, like I said, she ends up falling in love with Aiden. And while this is happening, I know that like trying to pick out a pack leader is also happening in the book. I mean, there's more to it, but it's a whole lot. But the point is, um, also, her mom and this woman Astrid, they are fighting over Gabriel, even though Gabriel doesn't want them. He's only interested in Vivian. So anywho, um, around this time, um, the pack decides to hold, like, um, I gotta look up the name of what they call it. Um, basically they held up, I guess you might would say like a tournament in a way for all like um, the male werewolves in the pack to fight to figure out who would be the leader. And Gabriel ends up winning it. Now, because Gabriel ends up winning, Astrid decides to go basically fight, attacks Vivian's mom, and her intentions is to kill Vivian's mom. Vivian, not realizing like what this would mean to enter into the competition, because like I think they called the women doing it. I don't like what they call the women, like the name of like the fight for the women's that want to be like the the mate to the alpha. They call it the bee dance. I was like, wow, okay. I still don't like it, but I see why. But still, but yeah, Astrid is gunning for Vivian's mom, and her intentions is to kill Vivian's mom. Vivian not realizing that entering like this dance would do to her, well, this fight, I'm gonna call it a fight, entering this fight would do to her. She goes in and basically makes Astrid, um, you know, she makes Astrid give up, and now she ends up being like, because she won the fight, she, now she's destined to be Gabriel's mate and stuff. And of course Gabriel says like, he'll wait for her, um but he be cocky with it, and he said like, but eventually you'll come to me. I wore my eyes at that part as a teenager because it's like ill, but okay. but but again, okay, back to the story. And while she's, trying to, I guess, fight the inevitable and stuff, she still pursues Aiden, and she decides to show him like she's a werewolf, but he ends up getting scared. She ends up jumping out his window. Um, she tries to reach him, and she does it through his friend, but his friend tell him tell her to go away and leave him alone and pay for the window, because Aiden lied, and like from what I would call, Aiden told his friends that she was crazy, and she basically threw a chair out of the window and stuff, like just made it seem like she was crazy, when in reality she only like broke his window because like when she saw that he was scared, she ran and stuff. So because she realized she's not gonna get Aiden back, she begins to like experiment with drinking. And while she's doing this, like there are murders happening, and she ends up waking to like, she ends up waking to blood, like, and like severed hands and stuff. And she's thinking she's doing this, and come to find out it's not her. It's actually Astrid and this dude that she wasn't going to give time of day. They decided to like make it look like she's doing the killing when she's not. And a whole lot of stuff happens. Like a whole lot of stuff happens, and to the point, I'm trying to figure out, do I want to, I'm just gonna just tell the whole thing, because like I'm talking about it now, so I'm just gonna tell the whole thing basically, so you could get the gist as to why I despise the um movie. But anyway, come to find out, Astrid and Raph um basically are, framing Vivian, be, Astrid, because Vivian won and is Gabriel's mate now, and Raph is he's doing because Vivian turned him down and stuff. So, but anyway, what ends up happening, because it comes to a head because Aiden gives, yeah, Aiden, he gives, um he has a letter sent to Vivian telling her to meet him. And of course, she decides to go because she thinking that Raph and Astrid also, saw this letter as well. So she goes to the spot. She sees Aiden. He pulls out a gun. He thinks that she is the one that is doing the killings, and she tells him no. She tells him who it is and tells him to, leave because she thinks that they are going to come after him. And lo and behold, Astrid and Raph, they're there, and Astrid is being villain, so she gotta do her little monologue. And then because of like her reason, Raph is upset because Raph thought Astrid wanted him and stuff. So they arguing, bickering, and you know, um, Vivian tells Aiden to, hey, like, take out Raph. He does, and she ends up about to fight Astrid, but Gabriel and a few more of the pack comes and breaks it up. Gabriel ends up killing Astrid, and Aiden, he's scared because like of like these werewolves, because he know how them are werewolves, because they came and stuff, and because like Astrid and Raph, I think they like, I want to say either Astrid and like someone end up turning into a werewolf, but I'm pretty sure he knows that they're a werewolf mainly because of Vivian and all that good stuff. But anyway, so Aiden ends up like pointing his gun at Gabriel because he's scared because all these werewolves, and ends up shooting. But Vivian basically jumps in front of Gabriel because Gabriel, like, I forgot to mention, but Gabriel also stopped her for committing suicide because again she thought that she thought that she thought that she had killed all those people, so she was going to end herself. Um, Luckily, not Raph, but Gabriel and other people in the other her other friends in the pack decided to like stop her because she left a note and everything. But anyway, back to like Gabriel, not Gabriel, but Aiden shooting Gabriel, but like Vivian intersects it, so she takes the bullet. Gabriel, threatens um Aiden and says like you stay away from Vivian, and he runs away scared and stuff. And Vivian ends up being stuck in her habit state, which is like human mixed with wolf and stuff, and basically she ends up being able to phase later on, like at the end of the book, because Gabriel tells her that he was in a similar situation like her, like he fell in love with a human, and like one thing turned to another, and she saw his true form. She got scared. He got scared. He actually ended up killing her. And basically, Vivian ends up realizing that she didn't love Aiden. She loved the idea of Aiden, and so she decides to like be with Gabriel. And that's how the end of the book goes. And as as a teenager, I thought that, well, I still think it's a good book, even though it is problematic. Like, I basically like the whole. I basically like the plot. Like I think the plot is very interesting and things like that. I kind of wish that she would up Vivian's age, if up her age, lower Gabriel's age. That would be a little bit better. Like lower his age to like I would say 17. Or again, like up her age, have her be 18 and have him be 19 or like 20. It like either way made it better, but other than that, it was still a pretty decent, a good book and stuff in my opinion. Like I read it from beginning to end. I think I finished that book very quickly. That's how much I actually enjoyed the book. I really did. Um, Again, like it's very problematic, but I still like the whole plot, the storyline, and things like that. I enjoyed it. So now that you know, like from my like from from my little from what I told you about the book, now you know like about the book. Now because you know about the book now I can talk about the movie and why the movie is trash to me. And the only thing I liked about the movie is the fact that they did up her age. However, that was a problem, and I'm gonna tell you why in a minute. But anyway, not in a minute, but now. So again, and so after reading Blood and Chocolate, imagine my surprise knowing that there was a movie called Blood and Chocolate and it was loosely based on the novel that I enjoyed and stuff. Because like I said, even though it is very problematic, I still enjoyed it. Like I had fun reading it. Now I'm not one of those people that fantasize about like the characters like that. Like oh get no. Um I'm the type of person, like I said, um, well, like I'm saying time and time again, when it comes to books or TV shows or games or graphic novels, like any platform when deals with like any type of story being told, I'm going to dive into the world and then I'm gonna dive back out. Like I'm not taking anything from that world. I'm just I dive into it to be entertained and once I'm entertained or once I'm done with it, I go to the next one and that's that. So that's how I looked at Blood and Chocolate um as well. Like I enjoyed it. I thought it was good, a good book and stuff. And so when I hear that it's going to be a movie, yeah, I'm thrilled. However, I was so confused when it said fantasy horror because I was like, Blood and Chocolate is a fantasy book, yes, but it's not. There was nothing like horror about it. And unless you call like the killings in like the last half of the book, yeah. If you call that horror, then yeah. I just don't know. I don't know who thought that this was. I don't know who thought it was a good idea to turn um Blood and Chocolate into like a fancy horror movie, but they did it wrong. So while I was reading, not reading, but while I was um looking, well, not looking, but watching. So they changed a whole lot of stuff. First and foremost, um, with Vivian's 19 years old, that wasn't really a problem to me because I was like, again, like I said before, I wanted her to be aged up, so that wasn't really a problem and stuff. Because I was thinking to myself, especially her being 19, I was like, oh, okay, so that means like if she's 19, at least Gabriel, like, again, I still don't like that he's 24, but hey, at least she's 19 and not like 16. in the books, because whoo, child, again, very, very, very problematic. Trust me, like I like now that like now that I'm old enough, I'm like, whoo, oh my goodness, really? Mm, okay, okay. But anyway, though I'm gonna be completely honest, it is not surprising. Um, it's sorry about that. But anyway, it's not surprising because this isn't the only book she does where the age of the the age of the girl is very like questionable and stuff like that. But again, back to the movie. Okay, so they've made her 19. Again, that was the only thing I liked about the movie is that she was 19. That was the only thing. Now, they made it to now what they did was they made instead of the book being in America, Maryland, it's in Romania now. That's actually not the problem, only because I actually enjoy when like a movie takes place in a different country. I enjoy watching movies taking place in different countries and stuff like that. So that wasn't what bothered me. What bothered me was that her parents, like basically her mom that was in the book, and here she dies. Like both parent dies. Hell, even her two siblings. Mind you, I don't think she had two siblings. From what I remember reading, I don't think she had two siblings. I think it was just her and her mom. But yeah, but now she's an orphan. And I was like, oh, okay, she's a interesting. So okay, um, that was just like, okay, this is how we do it. And if it gets worse, because not only that, but Astrid, who was the villain in the book, to me, in the movie, she's not the villain. As a matter of fact, she and Vivian are related now. And I was like, really? So, yeah. And Gabriel, Lord have mercy. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Because they made Vivian 19, I was looking forward to Gabriel because I'm like, how Gabriel looking and stuff. And I'm just, because not only is Gabriel like, I mean, pack leader, that's the one thing they did right. But that's another thing they did right. But Astrid, Vivian's aunt now, used to be Gabriel's former mate. And according to the pack law, um he, I guess, to the, well, now the pack law, he leaves her after 7 years for a new mate, apparently. So yeah, it's weird because now they got it, because now they got it seeming like, and sorry, but you're gonna see me like stop Cullen for a bit and then like go back to like the topic at hand. But like I was saying, they got that BS, and not only that, but Gabriel wants Vivian, and that's not the bad part. The bad part is that Gabriel, they like, you know how they change Vivian's age now? She's 19. They made Gabriel 40. Yes, yes, you heard correctly. I said 40. Now, again, I don't mind the whole like age gap relationship and stuff like that, but homie is 40 and Vivian is 19, and Vivian doesn't want him at all. And he only wants Vivian because he believes that she is like the, I guess, the woman to bring about like a new hope for the pack and stuff. Meanwhile, Vivian is also, she's starting a romantic relationship with a graphic novelist named Aiden. And yes, they changed Aiden up. They changed Aiden up as well because Aiden, he fled America, where he is basically he's still in trouble with the law because he assaulted his father and things like that. Now, in this in this book, Raph, well, not book but movie, as you know, like in the book, Raph is some guy that wanted Vivian, but she didn't want him. In this, Raph is Gabriel's son. That's right. Raph is also Astrid's son now. Yeah. Remember when I said that, I said earlier that Raph and Astrid, they had a thing and they got into an argument because Raph actually thought that him and Astrid had something. Yeah, they changed a whole lot of dynamic for this movie. And so Raph is Gabriel's and Astrid's son, and Vivian's cousin. And of course, Raph also, he kills a girl. Yeah. I'm thinking that's where the horror comes from because he ends up killing the girl and killing a girl. So that's what I'm thinking the horror comes from. That's just what I'm thinking. But yeah. So what else? So I know Aiden and Vivian, they're getting closer, and Raph is monitoring their closeness. And so Raph ends up meeting with with Aiden. I don't know why I paused like that. But he ends up meeting with Aiden, and he ends up trying to kill Aiden. Aiden kills Raph first, and he flees. And of course, now that he knows that Vivian is a werewolf because Raph says that Raph told Aiden that Vivian's his cousin. So yeah. And so of course, all hell breaks loose because even though Raph is a slimy, disgusting person. Well, werewolf. He was still Gabriel's and Astra's son. So of course they want to avenge his death. So they end up like getting Aiden, but Aiden ends up like he ends up arming himself and stuff like with silver because that's how he killed um Raph with his silver necklace. Um and that was on by accident, by the way. But anyway, so of course, like Gabriel and like the pack end up catching um Aiden. Of course, they decide to do a hunt with him. That's what I'm thinking that is in the movie. But they end up doing a hunt with him, and like where they give him a head start, and then after a few like seconds, they run after him in their wolf form. And of course, Vivian is trying to help. I think Ada ends up attacking her though and stuff, even though she did try to help him and stuff, because like attacking um she ends up attacking like the wolves, like the wolves in her pack to save him as well. Um yeah, again, I think he didn't recognize her in wolf form, and that's the reason why. But anyway, because he did that, she needs the antidote because like silver is you know is deadly to them, so she needs the antidote, but she dies. So they go get the antidote. She takes the antidote, and of course they get surrounded by Gabriel and Raph's friends, who now are the four instead of the five because Raph is dead. So anyway, she and Ada ends up killing Gabriel and and the other like and Raph's friends. And oh no, the five, no, never mind. The five, she didn't kill the five. They just killed Gabriel. I had to think about it. It's been a while since I've seen this movie, and let me tell you again, I try not to remember this movie because that's how much trash it was to me. But anyway, but yeah, but anyway, they kill Gabriel, and then they take basically they take a car, and I guess they getting out towards like getting out of the city. And while they get out, they see like you see werewolves, and the werewolves are just bowing down to them, because Vivian killed Gabriel, so I guess she's a new alpha, and Aiden's like her mate. And that's how the movie ends. Sorry, my ears are just so freaking itchy. I hope y'all don't hear me like itching my ear. But basically, yeah, that's how it goes. And let me tell you, the shit just was trash to me. Like, first of all, they made now that I now that you know how like the book and the movie are. Okay, first and foremost, in my opinion, it's trash. Okay, because my thing is the only good thing is that he was 19, so it's like okay. And but they turned Gabriel into the bad guy. Raph, like he still was the bad guy, but like at least in the books, Raph just was a whiny. He just was a whiny little boy. Um, like a whiny little teenager. But in this one, Raph, like first of all, he creeps on women and then ends up killing them because he doesn't get his way with them and stuff. Like he ends up killing a girl and stuff. So I'm like, what? Um, Astrid is his mother now because because her son is actually in the book. Her son name is Youth. I'm thinking. I feel like I'm saying his name wrong. But yeah, he's also in the movie too, but he's not her son anymore. Raph is her son, and again, I roll my eyes. And to know that Gabriel is a 40, I'm still mad about that. That pissed me the whole off because I'm expecting to see a young, sexy hunk. Because again, I was ecstatic that they at least up her age because I'm thinking like as long as they up her age, I'm fine with it. But to make Gabriel the bad guy and stuff like the actual bad guy, and Astrid, she wasn't the bad guy at all and stuff. It just was annoying. And then like at least with the book, we get moments, we get moments with her and Aiden. And in the movie we get moments too, but she wasn't even interested in Aiden. Like at least in the book she was interested in Aiden and stuff like that. She wanted to get to know him, especially because he had like again she drew a picture and stuff, and he basically he wrote a poem that kind of goes with the picture that she drew. So of course I'm mad I stopped. I'm mad I stopped coloring. I'm mad I stopped. Sorry. Let me get back to this. But like saying but yeah, like what was I saying? Like I just didn't like how they met because he he's pursuing her. She doesn't want nothing to do with him and stuff like that first. And then Vivian finally decides to give in the way, like she decides to just, go with it and stuff like that. So yeah. And then Raph, and then like, oh my god, and then the person that got to play Raph, I'm sorry, like homie does not look intimidating. Like I'm gonna tell you this now, he does not look intimidating. So why do you have this guy? He don't look intimidating. He look like one of those guys that say like I'm a good guy, but deep down he ain't no good guy. He just lying and stuff like that. That's literally what he legit looked like. And no shade to the actor and stuff like that. Like hey, at least like he played the role that he was given. Like he played like it was given, like it was written. So more power to him. But yeah, I was like, oh my god, for real, really. And what else? And then again, the whole Astrid thing kind of ticked me off because I expected Astrid to be the villain and stuff like that. I also expect there to be more killing, and there really wasn't that much killing. If I'm being honest, that's what I said. I'm trying to figure out how the hell this was a horror movie. I don't know how this was a horror movie because again, I didn't get no horror out of it. There was nothing scary about it and stuff. Like even when Raph killed like the girl in the beginning, that still wasn't like oh my god, like no one got scared. So I'm trying to figure out where the freak did this horror come from. Y'all could have just said this was fantasy and call it a date. No, instead y'all decided to do this, and I shook my head because I was like, really, really, mm. Like, cause I just shook my head because it was like, I don't think this is. I don't think there's nothing horror about this. The only horror about this is how horrible this movie was, because it was like, again, like they changed so much stuff about it, and just in case someone be like, well, they did say it was loosely based, but still, I expect it to go similar. Like, even if they did change some stuff, like, my thing is, like, even if they decide to keep it in Romania, they still could have kept it in Romania. Could have still kept her 19, but could at least made Gabriel, at least, if not 24, at least, 20, 22 or 23. Hell, and had, like, again, they could have kept with like what happened in the books, but all they had to do was up, like, Vivian's age and Aiden's age and stuff like that. Lower Gabriel's just a bit, and and again, like, and Astrid could have still been the bad guy, and Vivian could have her mom, because I was so pissed off, because I was like, really? Y'all made her an orphan? She wasn't an orphan in the book. See, this is why I like the book, because at least she wasn't an orphan in the book. She had her mom. And she ain't got nobody. And I'm thinking, like, I'm rolling my eyes because I'm trying to figure out what's keeping her. Her aunt? Because her aunt... And then, like, again, they changed Astrid character up so much. Like, they basically made Astrid, like, her mother character in the book and stuff like that. And I'm just like, really? And everything about it was just lackluster. Again, just everything. Like, I can't, like, again, the only thing that I like that they did was up her age. And that's it. The movie was just trash, and then, I don't know why, but I don't know if it's like the lighting, like how everything, like the light and the, like how they, like, the lights. I don't know, but it just, there was some instance where, like it was like too dark and stuff. I don't know. I guess it's like the way the movie looked and stuff like that. But again, I didn't understand what was the horror the horror part, other than like it being horrible, like, the movie itself. But still, I was like, so yeah, I could see why it flopped, and I feel like that's karma, because you should have went by the book. Again, they don't have to make her 16 and stuff like that, but again, because it's like, yeah, up her age. That's all y'all needed to change. That's all I was thinking. Like, that's all they needed to change was her age, so they could have her like going to like college instead of her going to high school and stuff like that. No, they decided to change a whole lot of stuff, and they got what they deserve. So yeah, I'm glad to get that out, because ooh, I'm telling you, when I first saw that, I shook my head. I was like, I know, dang on well. Like, I was cussing and fussing up a storm, because it's like, come on, if you're gonna do a book, at least do it right and stuff like that. Because this was not right at all. But anyway, and I'm done with ranting and stuff. I am going to just end this video now before it gets either longer. And if this is too long, I do apologize. I just decided to, like, So I just come on here and rant some more. And that's all. But yeah, so until next time, see ya.